Hello, everybody. What is up? Welcome to Xbox Ultimate Podcast, episode number 189. And what a surprise, not only for the chat, but for me as well. I hopped in here, and all of a sudden, Specialist Jasper, somebody named Specialist Jasper shows up here. I was like, who the fook is this guy? And you know what? Oh, returning from outer space, returning from the planet Krypton or wherever the hell he's been at. It's none other than Jasper making an appearance here, dude. So I got to start with you. What's up, dude? I'm just too excited. We got to say hello. What's up, man?
It's good. Yeah.
Typical
like
Jasper. All right. Yeah, he's back.
We're back. Let's go. It was good. It's been fun.
Yeah.
It's good. It's great to be here.
Yeah, space is cool, but it's like steak up there, so gotta come back.
They don't have steak in space?
No, just everything smells like steak. So,
Yeah, how would they cook it? It's too cold, right? No fire. Anyway, oh, whoa, what happened? Hold on, everybody. My screen just went like gray. Can y'all hear me?
Oh,
Jasper.
I should have been on.
Jasper. Jasper. What'd you do?
They found me.
That was weird, man. Like, I think it's Area 51 stuff is happening all of a sudden. That was strange. My entire screen just went gray. All I had to do was like click on Discord and it went away and then came back. Yeah, dude, welcome back, man. I know that you got like a temporary situation where you're able to join us, but thanks for hopping in, man. It's gonna be fun. It's been a while. Like, how long has it been? Like 3 months, 4 months?
Yeah, my last one was I think March 1st.
Oh, wow.
Fuck.
That's been a long time. Are there people listening in right now, Jasper? Do we have to be careful?
Not that I know of.
It's funny.
Oh, shit.
Well, also, we have the one and only Pong Soul. What's up, Pong? Hello? Pong?
Oh, you're talking to me?
Yeah.
Oh, God, I'm used to you going to everybody but me. Jesus. Jasper threw off the whole damn show.
Well,
here we go,
like
everybody.
His last show here, it was all fucking... remember that? It was like...
Yeah.
Everything was like wonky and discombobulated.
Jesus.
And
You
like
just totally threw me out. I'm just waiting to hear Fuzzy's voice go. That's what I was waiting for. Hey, everybody.
I did go out of order a little bit, right?
You
Because,
did
I'm
go
all
out of
fucked
order.
up.
No, it's
I'll just
freaking
leave.
awesome. What? You're gonna leave?
Uh-huh.
What'd you
Yeah,
say?
everything's out of order. I'll just leave.
No.
Figure out, brother. No, what a great Friday. What a great surprise to have the one and only Jasper here. Again, no show last week. So this is even extra special because I didn't get to talk to Fuzzy last week at all because we didn't have the Shop podcast. We are on hiatus right now. So it was great to talk to Mav last night. The first time we've done that in a week. It looks like we are definitely locked in to talk to Steel tomorrow. So yeah, this has just been surprise city, man. Kind of great getting the crew back together. And so happy Friday, chat. Great to have you all here. Not the biggest week of news again, but man, we did have some interesting things. But Mav, I do have a special request since Jasper is here.
Oh, okay.
We do got to get his take on what he saw of the showcase. I do need to hear this because I missed that. Okay. I completely missed it. I don't care if it's his usual 3 lines. I got to hear him. Okay. So yeah. I need to know how he feels. But chat, welcome aboard. We're going to have a good show tonight, obviously. Man, it's going to be fun, man. So, otherwise, gaming wise, not a whole heck of a lot. Talked about it last night, just kind of the usual stuff. Lately, I've been playing a lot of Gears again. So Gears Tactics and Gears Judgment, been rocking through that. I did check out that Republic of Piracy I talked about last night that I picked up for $10 that just launched. Actually, really cool city builder sim game. It has full controller support. However, I did run into kind of a major issue last night with the controller support. I'm going to have to relaunch it tonight and see if it was just a launch issue or something. But I couldn't click on if you click, you guys know in city builders kind of strategy games, you click on certain units or click on a house or a ship and you could do certain things within there. I couldn't click any of the buttons in those sub menus with my controller. So that was a little weird. Everywhere else, it was working fine. It was working great. Looks good. I mean, it looks awesome. This is a small team developed game. And it's pirates. So I was having a kick-ass time, but not being able to click on the menus that I have to click on inside was a problem as I was about an hour and a half in. So I'm going to check it out again tonight, but looking good so far. Loving it. Can't go wrong there. But let's get down to business since we have Jasper here, Mav. Let's go.
Yeah, let's get down to it. We'll say hello to Fuzzy first because he's Mr. Patient here. Calm, cool, and collected. What's up, Fuzz?
What's up, guys? How y'all doing? Been pretty much off of social media for the most part, playing some older games. Hop back into Division 2. Got my last level 30 character to level 40 and stuff. Did the old-fashioned way instead of the what do you call it, Warlords in New York and stuff like that. But still playing a lot of Forza Horizon 5. Got the cars for last week. Working on the cars for this week. Although I'm not doing the car pack just yet. Wait until I have like a big sale for all the car packs. But man, just been enjoying some games. Saw that there were some games that aren't coming to Xbox or maybe coming to Xbox later that people are kind of flipping out about. But other than that, just enjoying gaming and looking forward to a lot of the games coming later this year, and even some of the stuff that we might see at Gamescom. So
yeah,
it's a lot of stuff out there.
Expecting a decent presence for Xbox at Gamescom, especially since they said they're gonna have the biggest booth ever. Blizzard said they're gonna be there as well. A bunch of exciting things to look forward to for that. But yeah, it's awesome to have you here too, Fuzz, because I don't think I've talked to you since we didn't have FSP last week, did we? I don't think we.
No, you wanted to watch the Mavs.
No. That's right. Yeah, so we didn't have FSP this week, and I don't know.
Monday
if we
last
had
week was the first time you had it the Monday prior.
Did I? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that was like follow up to the showcases and stuff, right?
Yeah.
So yeah. But yeah, we've been kind of like off schedule, because we had the whole showcase season thing, and I was trying to catch up with the finals and all that stuff, and yeah, and also too, a lot of people are busy. Like Psycho's got stuff going on. His computer is still acting janky, and 3-Bit's crazy busy lately doing it, and lots of really cool stuff. That
moving again. That's just really cool stuff.
He's moving again. Yeah. And it's good, but it's good to have Jasper back, because before it was like Jasper was like there every single show pretty much, right? And it's been a big hole here without you, man. But it's good to have you. Big, yeah, it's a little hole. Anyway, moving on. Let's actually talk about some Xbox stuff. We do have a super chat here. Alvin hit us with a $5 super chat. Says, Jasper, promise us just one thing. If a Romulan ship is detected, you got to break protocol and spill the beans. We need to know, brother.
I can't say anything.
I can't say anything. I think like in like 20 years, we'll see Jasper like on a edition of like Expedition Unknown, where like Alien Files or something, where he's like, I was there. Like his voice is like all covered up, and he has a blurry face.
I know. We're going to be seeing Jasper when the state of emergency broadcast goes out, and he's up there with full medals on that we didn't even know he earned. And he's a general in Space Force, and he's alerting the entire United States that we are under attack.
It'd be Admiral.
War is real.
Admiral?
Admiral.
Would it be Admiral or General? It'd be Admiral.
It's generals.
It's
General for the okay.
Yeah. They don't have spaceships yet. When they get spaceships, it'll be Admiral.
Okay. That's right.
We're not the Navy.
Well, I mean, you're just almost, yeah, I guess. Like, we will have ships eventually.
Yes.
Jasper will be one of the first captains.
That'd be amazing.
Well, he's enlisted though, so it's like, how does that work? You'll be the new Master Chief. We could literally be talking to the future.
That's Navy rank.
Oh, that's Navy again, also. We'll figure it out. They'll change the ranks when they get ships. Anyway, it's there's been a lot of conversation actually today, so it's a pretty cool thing that we got some interesting things to talk about, some hypotheticals here, some fun speculation. There is 2 things that kind of happened that jumped out. Thanks to people that sent me the DMs and stuff too, pointing things out. But yeah, there was a statement from Final Fantasy creators about Final Fantasy 16, and added a little interesting nugget there that added some feelings and some speculation that this is about to come to Xbox. They just can't say it yet. And I want to share with you exactly what they had said. This comes from the let's see, what was the tweet? Yeah, this comes from the actual Final Fantasy 16 account. And they said the 1 year anniversary since the release of Final Fantasy 16 is here already. Thank you so much to everyone who has played the game. I wish to express my regards to all of you on behalf of the team. Since then, we have also released the DLC episodes, blah, 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 and I hope everyone is having fun with those alongside the main game. The development team is currently hard at work on the PC edition. We would like to make Final Fantasy 16 available to play for as many people as possible, so watch out for that one too. Thank you for continuing to support Final Fantasy 16. What is that? Hey, Psycho, what's up, dude?
Well, hello.
It's like
Can
a
you all hear me?
family reunion right now.
Psycho is here too.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
What's up, man?
You
Let's
had to,
go.
you had to show up for me.
Is your PC working, or are you
No.
showing? You sound like good. What are you doing it from?
Laptop.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
I
thanks.
hijacked
Stole
the
one real
laptop.
quick.
Yeah, my neighbor should let me borrow hers.
Yeah.
Made
What'd you
her
pay her in?
legs weak.
So, okay, was like, is that through? No, it's Jasper, babe. Jasper is here.
I was seeing how long it took her to find out. You ruined it.
Oh yeah, sorry. So yeah, what does that one too mean?
Oh,
I
we
mean,
already know.
I mean, it's Xbox, right? I mean, they just contractually cannot say the words Xbox right now, right? Which is typical for those kind of exclusivity agreements and stuff like that. So, it seems like this is probably because of the 1 year thing. If we remember and go back to the old school contracts that they had done with like Capcom and stuff like that had gotten leaked, there was like a little period of time where they weren't allowed to speak on it and stuff. And we can also go back to when Deathloop and Ghostwire Tokyo kind of came onto Xbox after their exclusivity agreements. It was literally announced those games that were coming to PS Plus without any mention of Xbox, and then like 2 days later they were coming to Xbox. So this post to me is almost like screaming same kind of energy here. Not saying it's going to PS Plus or whatever, but that they're celebrating 1 year, and I think imminently we're going to end up having an announcement within the next couple months here. The next showcase is it Gamescom, which is in August, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then when is Tokyo Game Show?
I think September.
Would it be out of the question to think that they could actually have this ready to come to Xbox by September for a surprise announcement for Tokyo Game Show? Jasper, what do you think?
Honestly, I don't give a shit because I don't like Final Fantasy. But
Yes. Let's go.
He's back.
No, I think we've known they've had a deal since at least January, February, whenever we had that Xbox Developer Direct. So
Yeah.
if this has been in the works for a while, how long does it take to port a game over? I don't know. 9 months. I could see them having it ready.
Yeah. The PC version they've probably been working on for a long time as well. And I think they probably would have had the PC version out if it wasn't for whatever this deal was with PlayStation also. Like the whole thing before, right, Jasper, just seemed like it was all marketing speak.
Also, if they're still working on the PC version, it could be a Game Pass deal to where they're waiting to get it on PC Game Pass as well to drop it same date.
So you think there's a chance they could do Game Pass?
Yeah, why not?
That's true. Well, people say that those games don't sell on Xbox anyway, right? So if that's the case, then why not put it on a Game Pass or take the Game Pass deal for the
we've
extra
seen this.
marketing push?
Square's been trying to get closer to Xbox, and they've had that partnership. So we really haven't seen anything from that partnership yet. So what is it that they're going to give us?
Yeah, I like the energy. I like it. What about you, Psycho? Is this Final Fantasy 16? Is this imminent?
We've heard smoke about it, so possibility that we see it at Gamescom. But personally, it's not like a traditional Final Fantasy game, so I give two shits about 16.
Oh,
so it's not.
That's fine.
I don't. I'm not a fan of the action
Mm-hmm.
RPG that that they try to go towards, because that's the whole thing with that's like the Sony's formula that they think they does very well, but unfortunately it didn't do well because Final Fantasy fans want Final Fantasy games, and this was not it. I mean, 15 was more traditional Final Fantasy, but open world at the same time, and I kind of wish they went that route. But yeah, what's that? Expedition 33.
Yeah.
That game right there was amazing at what I saw at the showcase, and I wish they went that route with Final Fantasy VII
Yeah.
remake and Rebirth, and they didn't. They did their own thing, which is whatever. But as we see, the sales are not there because they went this route. So we'll see. I'm not. I don't give two shits really about Final Fantasy 16. So.
Yeah, that's fine. Speaking of like Expedition 33, it's always what I had thought like Final Fantasy would kind of evolve into, something like that.
Exactly.
But like it didn't, but everybody's so excited for Expedition 33 after seeing it at the showcase. That blend of gameplay styles, the good graphics, plus also you have the turn-based combat that's also kind of semi-real time. Like it seemed like the perfect blend of everything that people kind of want for in that genre.
Also, it's a new franchise, so I think a lot of people are more willing to jump into that. Whereas Final Fantasy, it's already at 16, and people kind of get confused. It's like there's 16 of these games. Where do I start?
Yeah.
Even though like each game is different in its own story, but like a lot of people just see a number on the end of it. It's like,
yeah,
well,
like
I've already
this is
missed
a franchise I
the first 16 of them.
skipped, so like why dive in now? Yeah, even if it's not a continuing story, right? Yeah, it makes sense. Well, is somebody here possibly excited that Final Fantasy 16 is going to come to Xbox? Fuzzy? I saw you give the side eye right there. It's like, no.
I'm more excited to see the tiers about PlayStation exclusive going away.
Okay.
I'm more excited for that. I don't know. I think Square has got to still kiss more hands and butts or whatever over at Xbox.
Whoa.
Before we start caring about them again. But we'll see. It was a good move for them to do Octopath Traveler 1 and 2 in Game Pass not too long ago.
Mm-hmm.
So we at least got that. But if we can get some more stuff either in Game Pass or more stuff coming from here on out when it launches, like I think we even get I keep on wanting to call it Isle of Mana, but it's like Mana
Visions of Mana.
Visions of Mana. I think that comes to Game Pass August or something along those lines. So we got that coming as well. So maybe we get 16 and Visions of Mana in the same month type of deal for Game Pass. So that'd be pretty cool.
You guys inspired me to make a poll because so far we're like 0 for 3 on if you will actually buy it. So I'm just putting a poll out there. Will you buy Final Fantasy 16 on Xbox? Pong Soul.
I know Steel Rain is one of those.
Are you interested in this? Like, if it gets announced, like, what do you think?
Of course I am. I'm always interested in Final Fantasy games, no matter what they are. I'm not gonna buy day one. Don't get me wrong. It'll depend when it comes out. Depend when I'm playing. But would I eventually try it because it's on Xbox? Of course I would. Yeah, absolutely. So no, I just think it's great overall. I mean, we knew it was going to eventually come to the PC. We had all guessed that this was going to happen. This was a lot of our predictions, right? This was one of my main predictions that Square was going to be on the showcase stage to do this. Final Fantasy 16 was one of my guesses. I think a lot of us had the feeling that this was coming. It just, after Square's big announcement that they're going to go more multi-plat, we knew that Final Fantasy 16 only had a small window of exclusivity. Don't think it was that big a title for Sony to wrap up and try to sign another deal, but I didn't think Square would sign another deal anyways because of this new announcement. I think they're serious. So I think this is perfect sense. And I think that statement in there was purposely made after talking about we're busy working on the PC version, but we're also trying to bring this to as many people as possible. So wait for an announcement on that too. And I think the Tokyo Game Show, I know I saw King today. I was watching a little bit of Frontline on and off with him too. And he was thinking that it's going to come to Gamescom, that they'll do it at Gamescom. Again, don't know the time frames, don't know when it can happen, but I think TGS just makes way too much sense, right? Again, just a big spot. all the eyes of the East over there. That's, again, Final Fantasy hasn't sold as well as it used to. We know the decline that's happened over in the East too, but still, it's an iconic game. Xbox does make their presence felt now. They have over the past couple years, and they're going to make it a third year in a row at TGS again. So why not have a big announcement from Square, if it's possible, right there in TGS? That will still do what they wanted it to do, and it'll get people talking. But I think that they alluded to it here. So yeah, I'm excited for it to happen. I think it's great because, again, I want to see more Square stuff come. I mean, I want them to prove, and I think that's what they're trying to do, that this is serious. Like, they need to prove to their shareholders, let alone gamers, right, that they're changing their ways. That's why their stock has been absolutely abysmal over the past few years, is because of all the problems that their old ways created. And without Final Fantasy 14, as I've said time and time again for years, they would have already been sold, or they would be a shell of their former self, or maybe even closed up shop by now. So this is the next step, and can't wait to see it announced. And it just means bigger and better things going forward as more games come. Obviously, Mav, for you and I, Final Fantasy Tactics Remake is the big one.
Yeah.
And I think that's in the wings. We're waiting on that one, and I think that's legit too now. And so I think, man, you want 1-2 punch at TGS, Final Fantasy Tactics Remake.
Man.
And by the way, Final Fantasy 16 is also coming to Xbox.
And
Let's
plus,
go.
they will probably show more Visions of Mana as well.
They will probably,
right?
because yeah.
We can see
When's
more.
Visions of Mana? When's that launch? Is that September?
I think so. Probably right around
pretty-
then.
I think it's late
Yeah, it might-
August or something.
Is it late August, so it'll already be out? Okay. Release. Let's find out here. August 29th. So yeah, it'll probably be
And what about
already be out.
Metaphor?
Metaphor Refantasio.
I know it's not Square, but
No, it's not. No, but there's going to be a Sega presence, obviously.
Yeah.
At TGS
and
as
Capcom
well. We're gonna hear-
probably as well.
And
Although
Capcom, yep.
Path of the Goddess is going to be out already by that
Yes,
time.
which I can't wait. Metaphor is October 11th, so they'll be
Okay.
ramping up.
So
during
at
TGS,
Tokyo Game
yeah.
Show, we'll probably see more Metaphor. We'll probably see Visions of Mana. Even if it just came out, they might talk about it or whatever.
Yeah,
But then also the two big ones could be Final Fantasy 16 coming to Xbox, and then
Yeah.
hopefully, crossing my fingers, Jason Schreier is
Yep.
that guy.
Cocksucker. Oh,
Hold on, that guy. He just
That guy?
drives me crazy sometimes. But
Well, yeah.
but he does have
Oh,
credible
bitch.
information when he leaks stuff, and when he did add to that previous leak about Final Fantasy Tactics. So we're just waiting on an announcement. I just hope it comes everywhere, right?
Did you see all those old screenshots, by the way, Mav, of Final Fantasy Tactics in its original form when they originally pitched it? It was actually supposed to be Tactics Ogre-like,
Yeah,
where you travel across the world, open
Mhm.
world, kind of open over the overworld, I should say, right? And then you got into individual battles,
right.
and they were going for more of an RTS approach when it was
That's
first
interesting.
pitched, and it got turned down. And they went back and redid it, and that's what eventually became actual Final
Well,
Fantasy Tactics.
I'm glad they redid it because it's the, pinnacle for me.
It's a goat. It's a goat.
Chris Jones with the $5 super chat says, "I'm happy because people that will enjoy it on Xbox will be able to play it." How wholesome, Chris! That is so true. That is a true statement. Yeah, I think a lot of people will enjoy playing it. I gotta say, it's not what I want for Final Fantasy as a franchise, but just as a video game, like, it's good. I played it. I haven't finished it yet, but I played a good amount of it so far, and the story is actually really good. So for if you like a good story, like a good JRPG story, the story is really good. It actually goes a little darker and is more mature than most Final Fantasy games, and the combat's fun. It's very simple. It's kind of easy. It's not like a lot of strategy that you're used to and stuff like that. It's way more actiony. It's an action game. It's not a traditional JRPG, right? Like, this should have been a spinoff. But for what it's worth, it is a good game, I think, like, in its own right. I want them to have this kind of style as like a different spinoff kind of franchise if they're making these kind of games, and not be the traditional Final Fantasy. But they change it every single fucking time anyway, so who knows what the next mainline Final Fantasy game will be like. But overall, if it comes to Game Pass, I think maybe would you play it in Game Pass, Fuzz?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Okay.
I mean, for the most part, anything that comes in Game Pass, I'm going to try. One, you get the 3 points on a daily basis, and if you get an achievement, you get an extra 5 points. So,
Right.
Oh my God, he's
even for
using
Microsoft
the
Rewards
reward
points, at the bare minimum, I'm
Right on. He's talking about
Oh,
rewards and
fuzz.
achievements. What about you, Psycho? Would you play it in Game Pass or would you skip it still?
Final Fantasy or
16.
16 or
Yeah.
Tactics?
16.
Well,
Oh,
you already
no.
know about you
If
and
it's-
tactics. Come on.
Yeah. No, if it comes to the Game Pass, I'll give it a go just to see how just how it is. And but that's about it. I'm not gonna spend money on this. It's one of those games that's just doesn't appeal to me.
Yeah.
That's all.
What about you, Jasper?
I will not play it. I have so much other stuff I'd rather play.
That's fine. That's fine. Yeah.
Yes,
I mean,
how much have you gotten to play? Have you gotten to play anything outside of your phone?
Yeah. So I've been playing Fallout 76. I got back into
Okay.
that just because the TV show. I had a
Yeah.
big Fallout mood.
what did you think of the TV show?
It was really good.
Ooh, really good for Jasper's like masterpiece.
Whoa. Okay.
I don't know about that, but but it was good. My single player game right now is Bannister's Ghost of New Eden. That's my single player game.
Yeah.
How are you liking it?
I picked. It's pretty good. I'm like 4 hours in, but I've got like 20 games to jump through because like when I was stuck with just my phone, I was like buying a bunch of games off CDs and like Steam
Yes,
sales.
nice.
So I got like so many games to play. So I've been playing that. I started Dragon's Dogma like 2 days ago. Dragon's Dogma 2.
So good. It's so good.
Yeah, I just picked up Sandland last night because that was on sale on Steam. I
Nice.
finished Destiny 2 DLC, like the main part of it, not like 100% everything, just like the main story part of it. X Defiant, I've been playing that with some buddies. That's good. People still hate that game, but I like it.
That's so random that he likes that game. Oh my God.
No,
I love
I
it.
knew he was gonna like X Defiant. Like he liked Crossfire X. Remember?
That's true.
I think that's about it. Let me look at my desktop.
You got a lot of guys you can talk video games with there or no?
Yeah, but like they're all PlayStation people, so they all fucking suck.
You go walking around calling them ponies? Is that what you do?
Yeah. I did play. I got
good
Wanted
pony.
Dead. Wanted Dead. That game I picked that up
Yes.
for $5.
Yes.
I played that for like 3 hours or so.
Yeah. Pretty damn good actually. Now that they changed it up. They changed
Jasper
up the
walks
concept.
by his like his fellow Air Forceans. What do you call an Air Force person? It's not a soldier.
Commanding
right?
officer.
Yeah. Or,
Air Force
Well,
wingman.
yeah, fellow wingman. Like in
No, his fellow seaman.
the army, you'd say like soldier. Like Navy, you'd say seaman. Anyway, he's probably like nay every time he walks by one of those cameras. You know, just like. Anyway, yeah.
A few more games. Solstice I got for 99 cents.
Nice.
It was like a double A game a few years ago.
Yep.
Horizon, I picked that up. I need to play more of that. I only got like 30 minutes into it. Scars Above, I also picked that up for cheap.
Nice.
It was a space game that came out a few years ago.
Sci-fi game.
And Kingdom Come Defiance. I'm trying to
Okay.
get into that for the second one comes out.
Deliverance.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Okay. Yeah, no, I'm back into that too. It keeps crashing on me though. I gotta turn down some settings. But
So
yeah,
I've got
so
like
good.
20 games I'm trying to play all at the same time, and it's
You sound like me, Jaspy. I like it.
Yeah.
You're a grazer now. Let's go. Let's go. Awesome.
Brett Bingham says the term is airman, fellow airman,
Airman. There you go.
or for Jasper, spaceman.
yeah.
Right. Yeah.
We get Spaceman, like Space Ranger, Space Cadet.
Oh, I like Space
Yeah.
Rangers.
Spaceman
Let's
is
go,
like
Space
Buzz
Rangers.
Lightyear
Fuck yeah, let's go. Space Rangers all the way. Let's do that.
to infinity and beyond.
The proper term is Guardian.
Oh,
Guardian?
even
Guardian.
better.
Yeah.
I like
Guardian
that one,
of
too.
space or Guardian of Earth?
Guardian of Earth.
5G cell towers.
Guardian of Earth. Let's go.
We don't.
Uh.
NASA's the one that looks out. We look in from space.
Oh, that's good. Is that like a thing that y'all learned there?
No, that's like how it is. Like, why the fuck is space?
Learn there.
I don't know
We
if
don't
it's
look
like-
out. We look in.
I don't know if it's like
Get that
it's
through your
something they
head.
say over and over and over again to get it through their heads.
No, the only thing they tell us over and over again is, "Hey, watch out for China."
Yeah, that's a big thing. Jesus,
The
Christ.
balloons.
I mean,
Yeah.
just China in general.
In general.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right on, man.
Oh shit!
All right, I'm gonna end this poll.
Shout out
Oh,
to
and I
Risk
should
for
say that-
sending everybody on through.
Yo, Risk
Hello.
it. Shout out
These-
to
Hello,
Risk.
everybody
These
from
opinions are
Risk.
my own and not the opinions of the Air Force or Space Force.
Yeah, that's it. Yes. Use the disclaimers.
Yeah, all right, specialist Jasper. Will you buy Final Fantasy XVI on Xbox? No, 62%. Yes, 37%. That's enough sales. A third of the votes.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's fairly good. I bet that would be higher too if it was in Game Pass for sure, right?
It's
But-
what, 17 people.
but now to Pong's request,
Yes.
Xbox Showcase.
Yes, please. Yes, please.
Right. We got. I want to get Psycho's thoughts on it after
Yes.
too, because we haven't heard from Psycho. But yeah, Jasper, like you watched the Xbox Showcase from space, and it's a different
Yep.
perspective. I'm sure. Watching it from that far away, it must have been really small, but
And cold.
and cold. Yeah.
Yeah,
But
there's no fire up here.
overall, like, what did you?
Remember,
what'd you
fire
think?
doesn't happen because it's too cold.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's why you can't have steak.
That's why you can't have fire in
Yeah,
space.
'cause, you
That's
know,
why I can't have
the
steak.
sun sets in space. Don't forget.
Oh shit! So Jasp, go. What did you think?
I will say I think my opinion was a little skewed because I was surrounded by so many negative people. I will just say that because we were watching it in the day room with like 20 other people, and every game that came
Whoa.
up, people were like, "Oh, what is this shit?" Because they're all PlayStation people, so they're all like, "What is
You're
this
that
garbage?" or whatever.
hardcore too? Oh
Yeah.
Jesus!
So,
Oh yeah, dude.
but like every time a game came up, I'd be like you saw the playground, and I'd be like, "Oh, it's Fable," and people were like, "Look at this fucking nerd over here. He knows the game."
Love it.
That's freaking awesome.
I mean, I think for me it was probably like a 7, but again, like maybe it's just because I said the reasons why I was skewed. I think also that that a lot of the games there aren't necessarily like my kind of games. Like I really wasn't the biggest Fable person, or like
Mhm.
necessarily even the biggest Gears person. Like I like Gears or whatever, but it wasn't like a franchise that like I was like, oh my god, the next one's coming out. So like the kind of the bigger moments for that show were games that I'm not as into.
Right. Like, what was the reaction to Doom? Everybody like that?
People were like, they were confused at the start. Like, what the fuck is this? They're like, why is Doom going back to the past? He's supposed to be like
Oh my god!
Master
these
Chief in
guys.
space.
My god! Did you ask all these guys? Are they on Twitter? Are they on X?
What's
They're probably
hilarious?
on-
though-
most of them probably on Twitter.
What's hilarious though is all of them were watching the fucking show though,
Right.
right? You know,
For Call of Duty.
So
For
that's
Call
where
of
I
Duty,
was.
right?
That's where I'm thinking. Like at a certain point, it's not even Twitter anymore. It's just the culture that's
Yeah.
PlayStation and like everyone's created at this point.
Yep.
That's like it really changed my mind. Like when sitting there with a group of 20 people and them all saying like, "What is this garbage?" Whatever. Every time a game came up because it was the Xbox show, it's like
Oh god.
you're
Yeah.
not even watching the game. So like
Yeah.
I think that's the most damaging part of Xbox's like future marketing stuff is just because they have to change culture, and then that doesn't happen overnight.
yeah. It's interesting
That's-
when you meet somebody and you say, "Yeah, I play games too," or whatever, and like you ask, like, "Oh, what do you play?" I play Call of Duty, you know, and I play on PlayStation. I play, and that's just the general answer you usually get. And then and you say, "Yeah, I play on Xbox." Like, really? that's the general response. Like, really? They're like, "Yeah." They're like, "Oh, what do you play?" And I'm like, "Call of Duty or or Halo."
Yeah,
And, like
when I was in Texas for basic, all the people there were Xbox people, but all they fucking
'Cause-
played was Madden and FIFA and all that shit.
Yeah, you
So I'm
ran
like,
into a bunch of
you're
me
Xbox.
there. That's what happened. You ran into a bunch of me there, man. That's what happened. I mean,
Alvin
that's-
says Space Force stuffed with PlayStation Redditors confirmed.
That's what I used to. I mean, I didn't only play those, but like 90% of the time, like I mean, I play all the other shit too. But like I was my home game, you know, just like what I would spend all my time in was either like Madden or NBA 2K, you know, and then I would play the other games for what they were, and then go back to my regular games, Call of Duty and whatever Halo there was at the time. But yeah, it's the culture's changed, but that's part of what getting ABK is gonna do, right? All these guys were sitting there watching this show because it was the only fucking show worth watching. Did they watch Summer Game Fest, Jasper?
No.
Exactly, because they knew it was worthless to watch anyway, right? So
What was the feeling on Call of Duty, Jasper?
Everyone seemed to like that.
Yeah.
They're like, when the round-based zombies brought up, everyone was like screaming like, yeah,
Of
we're going
course.
back to round-based zombies. It's
course,
Black Ops, all that stuff. And then I'm like, y'all can play it on Game Pass. They're like, I'm not getting Game Pass. I'm just gonna buy a game. Like, oh, okay.
it's
I love it. It's interesting. It's still just a small sample size, but it is a group of regular guys, like and girls. I'm sure maybe there's a couple of girls, but I'm just saying a regular group of people outside of the bubble of this community, right? And it shows the cool kids club, right? It shows that mentality is out there among people who probably aren't a part of this community at all, or on it daily, or whatever the case may be, that it still comes through that way, that they're not just like indifferent, that they actually do have a distaste for Xbox, right? That they actually have that same kind of nonsense that we see in this community. It is pretty crazy. It's got
they fucking hated South of Midnight. Like, they didn't even know what it was. Like, they'd never heard of it. So like, it wasn't even like a thing on Twitter. They just thought it was like, this game is like running at 20 FPS. This is garbage. The art style sucks. Like, what the fuck?
God.
Because they don't
We're
understand.
excited for Astrobot or what do you call them? Horizon Lego.
They didn't even. I don't even think they watched the PlayStation show.
Right.
Right.
So did they understand that the stop with like South of Midnight was
They
stop
knew it was-
motion, or
There was like 3 people trying to explain it to them, and they're just like, I don't care. It's trash.
that is great, dude. I fucking love it, man. So I'm trying to think. What about Perfect Dark?
They said that it was interesting, but like,
Okay, that means
again,
they
it's
loved
like,
it.
they're like,
Yeah.
it's
Close.
but they're like, it's on Xbox, so I don't care.
Oh my God. What'd you think of Perfect Dark, Jasper?
It reminded me a lot of Deus Ex. So
Yeah.
I was wanting, like, within the first 2 Perfect Darks, it seemed like it was more shooting, like, from the past games. And this one, it seemed more like kind of like stealth and like gather intel. So it's going to be interesting to see how that actually plays out long term. We did see some shooting, but I'm wondering if it's more of that stealth and like kind of gather intel game.
Yeah, they've come out and they said they're going to allow you to complete missions the way you want to complete them. So if you want to go full stealth, you can go. It's like, Dishonored in that way. They're going to give you different paths. You get to kind of choose how you go. Yes, yes. I know, Jasper, but no, I'm just saying that style of mission. It's not going to be dictated per se. Like, you can only play this mission one way. They're going to allow you to kind of do different things, like that. How they showed the gate entry where she recorded the voice to enter the gate. There's other ways you can get through that part without doing that if you don't want to do that, right? So they're just going to give you some choice. That's
okay,
cool,
so
though,
I'll
man.
just go in guns blazing.
Yeah, exactly. There you go. But I love it. We got a Jasper 7 for the Xbox showcase. It's fucking beautiful.
Did you get hazed when you told them you were an Xbox fan?
No.
Or did you
never
keep
came
that
up.
to yourself?
It never came up.
Jasper's like,
they
I'm a
knew
PC guy. I'm PCMR, bitches.
Well, they knew I was, because when Matt Booty came out, I was like, "Oh, what's going on, Matt Booty?" Before his name ever came up, and they're like, "Jesus Christ, he even knows the fucking people's names." How deep in this industry are you?
Podcast? Jasper, do they know you
Some of
podcast? Huh?
I
Some
told
of them?
some of them.
Some of
Yeah.
them? That's hilarious, though. That would be kind
Some
of
of the
strange.
closer people I'm with.
Like you don't know much. You know some about video games, but you don't know a whole lot. You just like to play them. But then you got some guy who like knows the execs, and you're like calling out. That'd be fucking funny as hell.
But that's like in general when you're trying to have a conversation outside of this community with anybody about video games, whatever. Like, yeah, I play. Like, what do you? And if you say that, they'll ask you, "Oh, do you play Call of Duty?" That's like the de facto game everybody asks, right? Like, or something. And like with this, like we all have the same, like we all know all this shit and like follow all this stuff and watch all the shows, watch like every E3 that we can ever had an opportunity to and stuff like that. And that's what the community is made up of also. So we're all in this like bubble that has a lot of people in it, but like overall that bubble has ripple effects to the masses, but it's not what they don't know all this shit or understand everything that's going on. They don't even know, first off, who makes a lot of the games or anything. They don't even know the name of the studios. You know, they make like, Doom or Call of Duty or, you know, they know the names of games, but that's pretty much it, you know?
Well, even like to that point, like when I was like just the other day, someone was asking me what games I was playing recently, and I was like telling him about some of them. He's like, I've never heard of half those games, like the ones I just listed off like 20 minutes ago. I was like, okay.
Right.
It's like you're playing something that no one's ever heard of. Got it.
Right.
Yeah.
Even though there's millions of people that play these games too. Right.
Right. It's just different, man. You know. So it's interesting. We all think that everyone thinks like we do in the bubble, you know, but like overall, like the general consensus out there is like, unfortunately, the Xbox is not cool or just doesn't matter, you know, and that is the hurdle they got to overcome, right? I think this, regardless of the reaction that they had there, Jasper, I think overall the media, like games media's reaction and the conversation afterwards and all this kind of stuff, it is something that will hopefully start to have an impact of change, because if they continuously do this over and over again, like it's just unavoidable, you know.
I mean, like I finally saw like a positive IGN headline towards Xbox the other day. I was like, oh, okay. It's like it's starting to change.
Yeah.
I forgot what it was, but it's like,
no shit.
Oh, okay. Like
kind of funny gave it 10s.
Yeah.
Like that's what it takes is like the mad like journalists to start changing like their opinions on it, so like the casuals can change their opinions on it too, and it takes time for all that to change.
Yeah, it doesn't help when people like Schreier and those people are like, "Hey, Nintendo saved E3 or whatever," like with their direct, which was a great direct for Nintendo, right? If you're like the Nintendo games, their style of games and stuff, they had what is there, you know, like more of it. It's what I would expect, honestly. My personal reaction of the Nintendo Direct was like, "Oh, that's awesome," but there was nothing that was like surprising or anything. It just seemed a bunch of same kind of stuff, you know. So for me, I was like, cool, but I wasn't blown away by it. But for some reason, I think it had a big impact with a lot of people. That Nintendo Direct did as well, and now people are trying to pass that off as better than the Xbox Showcase that had like great looking games, is like stuff that you couldn't even believe with your eyes and stuff. Sometimes like, is this real or whatever? And looks at future games coming out this year, you know, all these kind of things. But then you see IGN articles and stuff like that talking about the games releasing for this year, and they omit almost every game coming out for Xbox. And it is a big hurdle that they're gonna have to overcome. And it doesn't help when games like Black Myth Wukong, also that were shown at Summer Game Fest, end up skipping Xbox for the launch at least. And it doesn't help also that it's unclear exactly now as to why, because there was actually, this is the second thing that happened today. The second thing of note, Jez actually got a response from Xbox regarding Black Myth Wukong in an article. So shout out to Jez for asking. And, you know, he doesn't consider himself a journalist, a blogger. You know, he considers himself a blogger and stuff. But I'll be damned if he doesn't actually do more journalistic work than any of the big games media out there, with actually trying to get information from the people and ask them questions, ask these things. That's what the other people that are journalists are supposed to be doing. And like it puts a lot of them to shame, because you actually get a response from Microsoft on this. But the response is what was interesting here, because there was specific kind of wording used that was unsolicited from Jez. Although people heard about the rumors and stuff, he said that maybe Xbox is responding to the general rumors on this, but he didn't put this in Xbox's mind. And you'd think on a carefully crafted PR statement back to a question, there would be a little bit of, okay, well, how do we say this to make sure everything's clear? But in the response, back to Windows Central, they said they cannot speak on deals made from other companies. So adding a little bit of fuel to the fire that this could be some kind of closet exclusive timed exclusivity deal to keep Black Myth Wukong off of Xbox. And like, that is interesting if that's the case. I don't know if it is, right? But did anybody else find this wording interesting from the PR statement back to Windows Central?
I'm pretty sure you have to disclose that though.
Do they?
Like, if
no.
you have a marketing deal, like I think you have to disclose that.
Well, an
Even,
exclusivity deal. That's why everybody's been curious about fucking Final Fantasy things and all these other stuff. Maybe maybe just for marketing, right? But like, I don't think they have to disclose if it's like exclusivity or anything like that.
What if they didn't actually do an exclusivity deal? What if they just paid to have priority,
right,
on actual dev time, right? When did they paid them to make the PlayStation a priority, which did hold back the Xbox, version, and so that is the delay, right? Once they got around that by doing that, that's certainly a possibility. They could have come in and said, "Hey, we'll help you out, smaller team. This is, we know this team's there's not a whole lot of history here. They started out very small. They've grown, but this is like their first massive game. They've got experienced devs there, but this is their first game together." So once Sony just stepped in and said, "Hey, flip you some extra bones, make PlayStation a priority when it comes to finishing it up and optimizing," and that put just, oh, by the way, it puts the Xbox version behind so that it can't launch at the same time.
I mean, that's kind of what they did with Callisto Protocol too, but they came out the same day
because they had their own devs come.
Yeah.
They had their own devs show up and get in there. But with a small team like this, that is, again, not necessarily the most efficient, it would have just maybe naturally had that effect to bump that version back. And Sony knew, obviously, but they're not actually buying exclusivity. They're just kind of helping with the production. Right. Or maybe they did exactly what they did with Callisto Protocol and brought some of their devs in to help with the PlayStation version to make sure that version was the priority. I could see different ways it could have gone about this, because I do think people are correct. Because I heard this today as well. Man, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to take over the topic. But I'm just saying.
You're fine.
I did hear people bring up the fact that, well, if they did buy exclusivity, why would Sony touts their exclusivity from the rooftops? Like they never hide that stuff. Like, that's a big deal to them. Why would we not have already seen like the marketing? Why would we not already seen the console exclusive, right?
Different
and that's
kind
true.
of deal.
That, like I said, maybe a different kind of deal that maybe isn't necessarily like we're buying exclusivity. You can't put this on Xbox for X amount of time, but no, we're just going to buy priority in the dev process, which again, just bump the Xbox version out. Like, I think and I want to bring this up too real quick. Right on the heels of this information, because this information, remember, this started spreading right while the showcase was going on, right?
Yeah.
Xbox. This started spreading. This hit. And when we got the interview from Phil, that's when he used the slimy tactics comment. Right. And maybe that's because
that's
people
when
were
Sean
like,
Layden was like,
right.
Yeah.
Right. But maybe that's what Phil was because Phil's used little terminology to indicate that before, but this was pretty strong, right? This was a different, and people were like, well, why is he talking about slimy tactics now? Maybe that's exactly why, because he found out this is exactly what happened, that they did bump out the dev cycle for the Xbox.
I mean, I've seen PR statements from them before, and they weren't worded like this about these kind of things, right?
I mean, my only pushback to that is like most devs wouldn't have to buy, or Sony wouldn't have to buy priority, because most devs automatically do PlayStation priority.
And I understand. Like, I totally agree with you. I agree with you, because I know that's the fact. But let's just say that they were in talks like with them, and the team at Game Science was like, we might have to delay the console version, right? We're maybe like 6 months ago they were like, oof, we're going to be cutting close to the console version. The PC version for sure will be able to get out, but the console versions might have to be delayed. And Sony was like, how can we help you get the PlayStation version out at the same time as the PC version? What can we do for you know what I'm saying? So like they could have just done something like that pushed it along, much like they did with Callisto. Now Callisto obviously came out at the same time for Xbox, but we saw the Xbox version was missing things, right? Like,
Yeah.
so
There's no
think,
question about
collections or
priority
whatever.
of development. It's something that
Yes,
3-Bits
there's no
talked about
question.
a lot of times,
Yes.
like about how
Yes.
a lot of developers, like, they're just de facto
It's natural.
console.
De facto.
Yeah, because it's so much more popular. We talk just from the reasons that Jasper's talking about. And also there's, you know, XDK stuff or whatever, the possibility things that we talked about before and all this kind of stuff, right? But like over the same reason why the Marvel vs. Capcom game isn't coming to Xbox. It may just be that the getting that engine, the MT framework and everything up and running for the pipeline for the Xbox One just isn't worth it for them to do so. It's not, and that creates a technical challenge that they don't feel like the investment is worth overcoming, right? And or building out the pipeline for. And that's a shame, right? I mean, it comes down to prioritization of platforms and all this kind of stuff. A lot of times comes down to popularity and things like that, which is always actually just going to be a problem with Xbox because they're not going to overtake as the most popular console. I don't think. I don't really foresee that happening.
For some time.
Yeah, unless like PlayStation really fucks up, which they are starting to, and Xbox, this whole thing keeps working, and people have this mind flip of all of a sudden Xbox is cool and PlayStation sucks. Like that's what it would take for them to actually flip, because even with that, it would be a challenge to actually like flip the ratio of like amount of people, market share and stuff. But overall, that's the challenge that they face. It's just the reality of the situation, right? But there's still something extra here, and like Pong talked about the slimy tactics thing. And I want to read this exact quote because this is their PR statement back to Windows Central in response to the question. Jess said, I asked both Microsoft and Game Science to comment on the optimizations issue, seeking some clarity. Was the Xbox Series S to blame? Game Science didn't respond, but this morning a Microsoft spokesperson offered the below statement. We're excited for the launch of Black Myth Wukong on Xbox Series X and S, and are working with Game Science to bring the game to our platforms. We can't comment on the deals made by our partners with other platform holders, but we remain focused on making Xbox the best platform for gamers, and great games are at the center of that. And the question to them was not about deals with PlayStation or anybody like that. It was about optimization in the Series S. But Xbox purposely flipped it to this. For me, that there's a reason why. Because automatically, like Jess had said in this article, a lot of people just jump to the Series S as a problem again. But then we've seen like Starfield and other games like in Baldur's Gate 3. And obviously, if you spend the time optimizing for it, the Series S can do lots of things that people thought it couldn't do. I don't think Black Myth Wukong is the kind of game that would even be a problem to run on the Series S, first off. And it seems like Xbox is trying to, with a PR statement and using words that they can't use, like they say, is telling us what's happening here. Much like Square Enix's post about Final Fantasy XVI coming to their announcement on that one as well, right? This is pretty much telling us what the situation is. Fuzz, like, am I reading too much into that, or are they just pretty much telling us that PlayStation may have a slimy tactics, some kind of deal that's preventing it from launching hand in hand on Xbox?
They did it the best way they could without being liable.
Right.
I guess that's about the best way to put it. They must have had lawyers in the room when they prepared that statement, and they kind of hinted at what it was. I really don't understand how at this point that these types of things kind of get unanswered or go unanswered to some extent. Like I joked about it before after we saw some of the emails from the ABK deal from Matt Booty about spending them out of business. I would purposely make their marketing deals more expensive by bidding maybe $1 million more, just so it keeps on going back and forth until you realize where, like, you have a rough estimate of where they're at for the max, and then just let them go ahead and pay that full max. Because let's say, for example, they have like a a $2 billion budget. Well, if you are competing with them with a $2 billion budget and you more than likely have double that in the coffers right now, just for the Xbox platform, not going off of the whole or Microsoft bank account, but just on Xbox's side alone, because of a lot of the profits that they're able to make off of the software and things along those lines, I would start making it so, oh, well, Take Two wants $1 billion. All right, we'll do 1 billion, 20 million kind of thing, or something like that. So that way, Sony has to go back and either pay the extra, like 25 million or whatever the case may be, and just keep on wasting their money with some of those bids. And if you happen to win something like Grand Theft Auto, so be it. That's a hell of a gem to keep. But if you're gonna lose any, make sure it costs Sony as much as it possibly can by outbidding them or outbidding them up to the point where the final offer, let them take that extra expensive pill. But it sucks. I really wish they would have stepped in sooner, possibly sending devs. Maybe this will be a sign of things that they need to look into, where a game gets as much attention or gets wish listed on Steam as highly. They may need to step in with their dev help or dev support to do similar things to Sony, to make it so Sony is less likely or less capable of walking in these smaller studios' doors with shiny bags of money and helping hands to kind of get the stuff over the cross line. But
I also
I don't
think
know.
that's or Sony and Microsoft have two different strategies. Like when Microsoft walks in, they're always asking like money to put your game on Game Pass, where Sony just walks in and is like hands you money so they can like market the game. I think it's also kind of up to the studios, like whatever they're looking for their game. And like some studios don't like Game Pass for certain reasons. Just the way it is. I don't know why, but
Yeah, but even like
so I think they have two different goals when they go in, and I think that's kind of where Microsoft, like they have some Microsoft gets some marketing deals. Oh shit!
You're still here. I don't think he can hear us.
Am I back?
Yeah, you're
Okay.
here. You never left.
Yeah, you're good.
Internet's not great here. Yeah, I can. Yeah, okay. Yeah, but like Microsoft gets some like partnership deals, like for marketing stuff, and they don't get Game Pass, but that's just because it's like they already had those partnerships with like Ubisoft for like a second Game Pass. So it's those prior deals that were already in place.
Right. Yeah, I think like it's interesting to see like what Microsoft's strategy is overall, because they do, like you said, they do the different deals, different games, but they're starting to get a lot of marketing deals with a lot of big time games, like Ubisoft's games. They have a lot of stuff, even like with Sega and Atlas now, that's not even the ones that don't go into Game Pass. You have some Capcom stuff. You have, and Sony's doing those deals too, obviously, right? But like then you add the wrinkle.
Yeah, but what's interesting about that is every time Microsoft has those, it's always with this statute of we're formed a partnership with such and such like studio or developer. Like they've always got a partnership with them, and then we get multiple of their games. Whereas Sony's just kind of like the one-off.
Yeah, like the kind of the de facto company or whatever. Yeah,
Am I, like disconnected again?
Yeah, you're here,
okay.
but it's like I think you've been like delayed or something. Like I think there's like a delay.
Almost like it bots in and out just a little
Okay,
bit.
that's so weird.
Yeah,
I'm just
you
gonna-
never left. Oh, now he did. All right. Psycho. What about you, man? Do you think this is a under hat thing that they're doing, and that's why they made this PR statement?
It seems it definitely seems like the case, like as what Pong mentioned, possibly doing the priority for PlayStation, optimize that first, kind of suits what happened, because up to this point it was the same time. It was on everything, coming out on everything, and then now all of a sudden Series S or on Xbox it's just going to be delayed for optimization. Well, if you read between the lines, it's like, well, we haven't really focused on Xbox because we were focusing on the PlayStation version, and then now we're going to work on the Xbox version and bring it out at a later date. How long is it going to be? 2-3 months? Just don't know how long they've been working on the PlayStation version of Black Myth Wukong. So at that point, we just have to wait to see when that could be. If it's 3 months, it, does it suck that it's not day and date with the other platforms? Yes, it really does. But it's at least it's not skipping the platform. And it's just one of those things that Xbox is either has to tackle, doing some kind of like, hey, okay, if you're gonna do this, well, how about we give you this to optimize for Xbox first? Maybe try to rebuttal, but knowing Xbox, that's not the case because they're focusing more on Game Pass, and at that point, who knows? Maybe they'll do a Game Pass deal for Black Myth Wukong over, because of the delay. But we don't know.
Yeah. Well, it sucks that these things happen, regardless of what the reason is. Like it happened with Baldur's Gate 3. That was an optimization thing, right? But we assumed that this was a similar thing, but now it's seeming like maybe it's not, and don't know the reasons why. But it's kind of like those things that kind of creates that de facto leadership and continues the strength of what PlayStation has had, even without Xbox's fault, really. And that's what they alluded to before when during the FTC trial and stuff like that, when they talked about doing a company doing deals to make Xbox and keep Xbox small, right? That was like what they always alluded to, is like the competition's doing things to keep us small, and if underhanded things and different tactics things, right? And it seems like if this is something underhanded, and what Phil alluded to recently with the slimy tactics and stuff like that, on a highly anticipated game, on a company desperate for money because they're more of a newer studio, this is their first big game, then who knows, right? I don't think like Ubisoft is gonna do deals like that, or like some of these bigger publishers that are seeing the bigger picture, right? That have a lot more players in different places, but you catch the right one at the right time. Sony's always had a way of doing that, right? But I've seen some people say like, hey, this game isn't going to be all that anyway, like everybody's making it out to be. I don't know what the reception is going to be overall when it comes out, but it's one that when we see marketing at launch, right, when we see everybody talking about it, whatever the conversation is, they won't be talking about the Xbox version. They'll just be talking about that it's not there. And
it also kind of hurts, like when a lot of games launch when they don't come out on everything. It kind of hurts the game because like it'll come out 6 months later, but the hype for that game's already been run.
Yeah,
it's ran
exactly.
That course, so like no one's gonna pick it up as much.
Day and date across everything is usually the best way to go. And like that was my argument before for Xbox games launching on PC first, or Xbox first and then PC. Like you go both at the same place. You saw what it did for Helldivers 2, right? For PlayStation as well. Like it helps make those games have strength, right? And more hype at launch. $10 super chat from Alvin says, Sony saw the poor reception to Concord, the strong reception to Xbox's show, realized they had nothing to show off the PS5 Pro with, and snagged exclusivity to co-market the Pro with in September, my guess. Well, Summer Game Fest was before the Xbox show, and that's when we saw Black Myth Wukong, right? So they didn't see the response to the Xbox showcase yet. However, it would have still been a Sony move. Like they knew that they had their shitty ass state of play, right? And they knew that they had only the Lego Horizon game that was going to be multiplat at the Keighley show. So, to add the extra level, yeah, maybe just seeing that Black Myth Wukong without the Xbox logo there, because that was a big conversation during Summer Game Fest. Like, what's going on with this, and draw even more attention to it, right? So, yeah, but yeah, maybe they would be marketing. That's a good thought. Marketing with the PS5 Pro, and maybe optimizing it for that. Maybe that could lead to one of the reasons they're not optimizing for the Xbox consoles as of yet.
When does Astrobot 2 come out? Or Astrobot come out?
Is that the one your most anticipated game of the year, Jasper?
No, it's just like, are they going to make that the PlayStation 5 Pro
October
showcase? The way they did it for
Yeah.
the PlayStation.
Yeah, October 2nd
Yeah.
is Astrobot.
What about I gotta? Did you see Concord, Jasper? I gotta get your take on Concord.
Yeah. I mean, out of all of the I know this is gonna be a hot take, but out of all of the co-op arena shooter shit that we saw like over the week or whatever, like Concord is the one that stood out the most to me, just because it had that Destiny flavor to it. And like, I don't know, the frag punk thing, I was like, that's like whatever, like the card system, like I think that could be like real wonky, like in between matches.
Yeah.
So like,
you gonna buy
that
Concord
to
day
get
one?
a good feel for that, but it's whatever.
You gonna buy Concord?
I might. Let's see how it does, like on Steam.
Yeah.
Might maybe if it comes out on Steam day one. I think it's supposed to.
Yeah, it is. It's coming out
It
on
is.
PC day one. It's $40. It's 40, right?
Yeah. I think it's 40.
Yeah. Okay.
Just have to. I'll probably wait just to make sure there's actually a community, because a lot of people don't seem to be interested in it, and I'm not going to pick it up if there's no community for it.
That's an
Right.
understatement.
Like,
Yeah.
Lawbreakers Part 2.
Oof. Yeah, so those are the kind of two big things that happened today. Like, and both similar kind of things, like statements made with some underlying tones there, or like suggestive words, because they can't say exactly what they want to say otherwise. So I thought that was really interesting. And both of them potentially because of Sony deals. That's why they can't say what's actually going on. So, yeah, we'll see Final Fantasy 16 on Xbox. We'll see Black Myth Wukong on Xbox eventually. The question is, will we also see the remakes from Final Fantasy 7? That one I think is a little bit more up in the air. Were you saying, Psycho?
No, I was saying that Concord, being another hero shooter in the genre where almost all of them are free to play, versus this is $40 for the base model, and I think what is it, $70-$80 for the deluxe version or whatever it was. It's not being. I don't see a lot of PC gamers going to be picking this up, like they did with.
Yeah. That's just because the PC crowd for
Helldivers.
shooters isn't arena based really anymore. It's more like Extraction or BR. Like that's where a lot of the hype comes for PC the community.
Yeah,
It has to be really good for like the PC community to kind of jump onto it.
Or really
100%.
weird and different and janky.
yeah. Well,
Yeah.
like
If
with
you see a lot
Helldivers
of like
2,
really janky ass games like that are smaller, that, like just explode sometimes on PC because they're fun, right? Like it's all we really care about, I think.
Yeah.
and like with Helldivers
Yeah,
2,
just
it's one of
having
those
fun.
just weird games that kind of gives you that
Well, that
was
was
it,
because it was a unique
harsh.
experience, and
Dark
you haven't really
Roots.
seen that in too many games.
Yeah, and that's the thing. That's why it did well, because they paid $40, $50, or whatever it was.
You
But
could
something like
have
The Jasper's on a
sci-fi
delay.
Vietnam with robots.
no, I get it. I feel it.
Yeah,
But with
I-
and
I'll refresh again, maybe.
but with with Concord, it just like the original trailer did not give you the vibes that it was going to be a hero shooter. You thought they said it's a Starfield killer, blah 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 blah, and then when it got announced what it was, and it was like, oh, what the fuck is this? Even the PlayStation community wasn't 100% behind it, but they have to prop up every game that is exclusive for PlayStation, regardless of what genre and what it is. But I don't know. It could do well. It could be one of those games that, holy shit, it's really great. But again, being $40 versus free to play, it's one of those. It's not going to get the backing. And Sony's going to look at it and be like, another failed title. And they're going to see that and they're not going to support it. I mean, look at the PSVR 2. Now we got possibly 2 games being developed and those might not even come out. And it's slowly but surely, it's like they're not taking chances less and less. They're going to focus on stuff that is doing well, that is established IP, like Horizon, like Last of Us, God of War. We'll see about Ghost of Tsushima. I think Ghost of Tsushima needed to do well on PC to really, I think, go all in for the sequel. But we'll see how that turns out. I really hope so, because it's my game of the year in 2020. And I know Pong's been playing it, and he seems like he is enjoying it. And it's one of those games that needs more eyes, and they definitely have a sequel. But we'll see how, going back to the Concord, we'll see how that plays out.
I think the one thing Concord might have going for it is that the fact that everyone's been dying for Destiny PvP content, and they've never got it for like 3 years.
Right.
So like they may get some of the Destiny crowd.
Yeah, but what is it? Is it Punk? The
Frag
Xbox
Punk?
game
Or whatever.
Frag Punk.
Yeah.
Frag Punk.
That looked amazing, just because the card aspect is a whole different twist on the genre that makes it's different enough that, okay, I'm gonna try this out, and it might be something that people might like, because it gives that different twist in gameplay. Having the world flip on its head and doing all this other crazy shit, that it kind of gives me that Titanfall 1 vibes, where you have those cards that you activate that does certain specials and things like that.
Yeah. I'm probably try the Frag Punk game. I don't know how much I'll play of it. And has any of y'all been playing the Valorant console beta?
No,
I
haven't downloaded it.
I don't know why everyone's excited for that.
I tried it. It would actually be fun with a group. You got to have comms. You got to be on mic. And it'd be fun with a group of people, right? It definitely would be fun. Playing with randos with no mics is not the best. I actually like the slower paced of it, right? So the slower pace, actually, I was having more fun with it. I played a handful of rounds. It's not like something I've been playing constantly or anything like that, but I played a handful of rounds, tried some of the different characters out with the special powers. And I was having a decent time. Like I was actually doing okay. Of course, I'm playing against a bunch of rookies because nobody on consoles had it before. So that's kind of nice too. But yeah, no, I thought it was cool. I can see why people like it, especially on PC side of things. I can imagine with keyboard and mouse, for those people that are freaking pros, it is freaking pretty.
It's fucking Headshot City on PC. You turn the corner, you get headshot.
Yeah, you get pinked, right? Because it's more tactical. It's more tactical than a Call of Duty.
Yeah,
it's yeah.
People always look at it and say, "Oh, it's Overwatch," but it's
No.
more like Rainbow Six.
Yes, it is more like Rainbow Six. But once you get the special powers are all really unique amongst the different characters. And once you kind of understanding how they work, again, if you had a good team, or if a bunch of us, if the fam was running together, we were having a good time with it, I could see how it could be a really, really fun game to actually get into. But again, am I going to take the time? We all hopping on? Again, I've got to still download it. But yeah, I thought it was decent. And like I said, the slower paced gameplay actually it felt good to me, instead of being a fast paced Overwatch or Call of Duty or whatever the case may be. So I was kind of having fun. I'm not going to lie.
Right on.
And it played well. It played
Yeah.
well. It was,
I'm sure.
yeah,
I mean, it's
yeah,
one of the most popular games in the world,
Anything.
right? So I'm sure it's gonna be decent.
Yeah, it's the esports game, so it's going to run at 3,000 frames.
So there, other than that, I wanted to kind of get everybody's like general consensus on like now that we've had a time to be away from the Xbox showcase and stuff, like what is like the game, you know, that you just can't stop thinking about now that we saw at the Xbox showcase. So start with Fuzz.
I would say between South of Midnight and was it Expedition 33 and State of Decay 3. Those are the 3 standouts for me.
Did you rate the show with us? Have you given it like? Was it like? Did you say 10? I think we did on it. Okay,
I gave it 10 stars out of 10.
Yeah, Jasper gave it a Jasper 7, which is like a normal 9, right?
Plus, he had the PlayStation.
Fan
base kind of poo-pooing.
Yeah, I mean, you got to do a better job of like representing and fighting back with this, Jasper. You got to like stand your ground, man. You know, like
Jasper's gonna slowly
like.
Well,
Hey, what game here stands out
20
better than or what game from PlayStation are you guys playing now, or who's looking at who's really hyped for Astrobot
you think that-
or Horizon Lego?
the 3 games that are available to play like on the public PlayStation is Mortal Kombat, FIFA, and Spider-Man Miles Morales. So the only PlayStation game they actually play is Spider-Man. If they play it, most of it's just third-party shit.
that's funny.
Jasper's going to slowly disappear for the family. He's going to stop talking to us, and all of a sudden, we'll see him come back into the community on the pony side. It's going to be
He's gonna have hooves
happen.
and a tail and stuff.
I don't. Those people like I don't even consider like. They just play like FIFA.
Yeah,
and
right.
Shit. They're just
They
casuals,
just,
it's
but
like,
they
whatever.
just
You
think
don't actually
PlayStation's
know
the
what I'm
best
talking about.
premium. Yes, it is.
Yeah.
FIFA, fucking
Because
FIFA's
it's the cool
badass
club.
on PlayStation. Like that's such a weird.
It's the bro console, guys.
You play FIFA on Xbox? What's wrong with you, man? You should play FIFA on PlayStation. It's better. Why?
So much.
I don't know.
There was the FIFA like 2K announcement or whatever. Like 2K is getting FIFA.
Yeah.
For like next year or whatever. And people were like, "Thank God FIFA's coming back." I'm like, you do realize it's a different company making FIFA now. Like it's not EA FIFA Football Club. So it's not FIFA coming back.
They're like, you fucking nerd. You would know that, Jasper.
Stop shitting on my dreams, man. I want FIFA back. And Jasper's like, just play Football Club. No, I want to play FIFA. It's not the same.
Yeah. Okay.
Did you tell them?
Means
Are the people excited that college football's coming back? Have you told them that? That might get some.
I
Excitement.
don't even think they care.
They'll be like, I'll play it again when NCAA's back.
Probably what it is.
It is. It's gonna be like the new take on NCAA, but like they lost NCAA license, right? So
college football. Yeah.
Anyway. All right. What about you, Psycho? What's your standout show from the Xbox showcase?
Oh my god!
You can't stop
So
thinking about it.
I wasn't there for the showcase because my PC decided to take a shit. But what a fucking showcase! Start with fucking. No one saw Call of Duty being the first game being dropped, and then ending with fucking with Gears of War. Like no one fucking had those games in their bingo card of when it was gonna.
We had Gears for the end game, but we didn't think it was gonna be a prequel.
That Gears,
right?
Yes, we were all thinking of different Gears.
Yep.
But to show the prequel, I was like, holy fuck! When I fucking saw that, I fucking screamed. I was like, yes, fuck yes!
Dude, it
was
scares the children away.
It was hilarious, but that showcase has done so much for Xbox, especially working at GameStop or GameStop, and I've been
doesn't even know where he works.
The fuck.
We're
Well, I
working
thought
at
I
Kmart.
thought I said GameSpot.
I'm working in
I thought
the
I
games
said
department
spot.
at Kmart. I've been selling so many.
Blue light special.
Oh, when I was over at Funko Land yesterday at my shift.
I'll tell you what place does have a lot of Xboxes and PlayStations.
No,
Fucking military bases. They have so many consoles.
Yeah.
Really?
If you go
Yeah.
to like the shop there, they always have consoles in stock.
PAX.
That's freaking
Yeah,
awesome.
the PAX is always because they can afford them. The PAX shop always has consoles because you got military guys. I got some platoon money. Let's go fucking or basic money, and they go and fucking waste it
money.
on that.
What is that?
It's basic money, pretty much. You
Hey.
get paid.
Is that like the
No.
like the money pool? Hey, put it in the platoon money. Like, we got our platoon money here, guys.
Yeah, no, we've been selling the shit out of Xboxes since the showcase. I have yes, I put in the chat the other day. I think it was like 4 Xboxes to 1 PlayStation since the showcase.
Yeah.
And I'm sold out of Xboxes at the moment. So it's like it's fucking just crazy. But the game there's just so many fucking games that got me fucking excited. I really, the new Call of Duty looked really fucking good. I like the new movement that they have. They're going back with Prestige. They're going back with level-based zombies. That really got me excited. Expedition 33 was one of those games that no one saw or thought of, and now it's on my fucking radar, and I'm super stoked for it. South of Midnight showed off amazingly. Fable looked amazingly. I even said it looked like they possibly changed the character model a bit. But Fuzzy brought a good point where they possibly, what we saw originally was a character being more evil, and how in the older games your facial expressions and the character design changed if you're good or evil. So that could be the case of why the characters look different than they did. So Fable looks just really amazing. And Gears of War, I mean, that for me was Gears has a special place in my heart for that franchise, and I'm just so fucking excited for the going back to the horror, the gritty.
Yeah.
We're gonna see some fucking gore in some. I mean, it didn't go away, but we're going back to basics. And Locust just he looked amazing.
Going back to platoons.
Yes, really. And now we could also see what landed Marcus in jail for Gears 1. Possibly, they lead up to that point if that's where we're going to go with this. Really interesting, and really excited for those games right there.
So Gears though is probably the one.
If there was one, it's Gears because Gears is special to me. If it's outside of Gears, it's Expedition 33.
Yeah, man, that's one that I see a lot of people keep talking about. It's from Sandfall Interactive, a brand new developer that's been working on this for a few years. I think the game's got a chance to be special because I think the development team is like legit. Like they have some videos and stuff they've been posting, like kind of tutorial stuff and all these kind of things. And like what we saw is legitimate for that game, which is mind blowing, right? Like looks great, but also the blend of genre and like JRPG style, but with like kind of like this French theme to it is just pretty fucking badass. Jasper, like, what's the one game if you had to pick one? I know it's hard for you because you said there's nothing there for you.
Yeah,
but
I know, right?
what's the one game there, Mr. Air Force Pony?
I will say this is weird because I'm not in Air Force.
Oh, Space Force. Sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry. You're in the.
Yeah.
Well, you went to Air Force Base. Are you there with Air Force people now? Or are you up to space?
Force One.
Okay. You're being
Yeah, there's some Air
influenced.
Force jobs here
Okay.
at school, so
Yeah, I got
yeah.
it.
But yeah, as I was saying, Expedition 33, it looked cool, but again, it's not my kind of game. Like I would say the overall like art and like the direction of the game, it looks cool, like a cool world to play in. But just the overall like turn-based strategy, it's not my thing,
Mm-hmm.
or turn-based fighting style. So with that being said, it's Doom. Doom's my one game that I was like, wow, that looks really cool. Just I like the whole aspect of kind of like flipping Doom on its head and going to like a medieval route with it. It seems really cool and like kind of learning from where like the Doom guy actually came from, like kind of more of his origin, and we get that with the medieval Doom. So
Yeah. Do you care that it's going multi-plat day one?
I don't give a shit.
Okay. I didn't
This
seem like
isn't Game
really when
Pass.
it was actually announced at the showcase, nobody really actually cared, you know. But it was weird that a month leading up to it, it was like the worst thing ever.
I
So,
mean, as I've said on this show before I left, is Halo could go to PlayStation tomorrow and I wouldn't care.
yeah, fair enough. Pong Soul, you've had some time to marinate.
You already know, bro. If I gotta pick one, it's Gears of War.
Yeah,
It's
it caused you to buy a shirt.
It caused me to buy a shirt, which I don't do anymore, right? I
Yeah.
don't do that stuff
I'm
anymore.
jealous.
Yeah,
I
I know.
want
A
that
lot of
shirt.
people are. It's freaking amazing. It's such a heavy quality shirt too. I was telling Mav last night off camera. I mean, I could sit here. You guys already know. How many games hit home for me during this show? Like there was so many there. I mean, obviously Expedition 33 is obviously one of them, along with all of the Xbox games. Like again, Perfect Dark looks like the Perfect Dark game I was hoping for. So that looks fantastic. Like even the small little bit we saw from State of Decay 3. I can't wait for that. Of course, Fable. I'm happy for Fable and excited for a new Fable when that finally drops. Obviously, for this year, Avowed is my most anticipated first party game out of Xbox. So shit, yeah, it looked freaking fantastic. My God, even Age of Mythology, right? I can't wait. I'm gonna pump hundreds of hours into Age of Mythology. It looked fantastic. The entire show was great, but Gears, to end the show right before the Call of Duty Direct with Gears, like we had all said they should do. And the fact that they, once again, even though it wasn't like the Mad World trailer that we all kind of had envisioned, for them to know and hit that home run by putting that version of Mad World in the background with the trailer. Again, I had gator tears. You saw me. I saw all the reactions from people. I've been watching reactions pretty much nonstop. I've been seeing different clips from different people from that reveal, and everybody had different reactions. People screaming, people crying, all that kind of stuff. Like I pulled away from the camera because I did have gator tears, and I was still so engaged though, because I wanted to know what the hell this was. Like we thought it, because it was young Marcus, and it was like, well, is this the Phoenix collection? Because that doesn't fit with 6. Like this is not Kate's story. Thank freaking God. This isn't the whiny kids.
Yeah.
We got a young Marcus Phoenix again on our screen. So I was still like engaged. So I didn't want to like lose it, but I had gator tears. And then of course, Dom saving him and whatever else, and seeing those two together again, that it's crazy. Like I am an OG Gears fan. You guys all know this. I put a lot of time into Gears 1, 2, and 3, and even the multiplayer. Again, I wasn't the sweaty that Steel was per se at any point in time, but I still enjoyed every part of the campaigns and of the multiplayer a lot. Thousands of hours into Gears 1, 2, and 3. And with my kiddo too. So to see Gears E-Day show up and blow everybody's mind out of the water, to really seal the deal that we had talked about on this showcase, that this was going to be their grandest showcase. Now, a lot of the stuff we predicted didn't happen. That we know for a fact they cut down a lot out of this showcase of what could have been here, and they saved it. But even still, just to end it the perfect way that we all had said, just do this. Yes, we didn't get the Phoenix collection, but to have the prequel show up reignited the Gears that I've been missing. Like again, I think 4 and 5 are good games. They just don't hit the same, and I hate the whiny kids. Okay, it's not the same Gears. For them to do this, go back, and we're going to now confirmed get that gritty, dark, much more linear type Gears campaign. Obviously, we already knew, most of us did. I don't know why it was a surprise, but obviously they kind of half confirmed it, not really because they didn't want to talk about it. But of course, it's going to have the multiplayer. I'm back, man. That's why I've been playing Judgment. That's why I've been playing Gears Tactics. Like, I know whenever this game comes out, whether it's 2026, 2027, whenever it is, I'm getting my old style Gears back, and I can't wait to see what Coalition's going to do at that point with Unreal Engine 5 point, whatever the hell it is at that point. It might even be Unreal Engine 6 at that point. Who the hell knows? Whatever they're going to do after playing Hive Busters and getting some of that old feel back again too. Yo, I'm all in, man. This is going to be like getting that first game all over again for me personally. This will be like having that first Gear show up when I had never played anything like it. That's what I already know I'm going to get out of this from Coalition. So it's got to be Gears. I'm sorry. I just keep going on. But
the marketing lead up
I've been waiting
to that game and what they're going to be able to do with that, it's going to generate so much fucking hype and excitement, man.
Oh, yeah.
The anime is coming. The live is most likely coming. They're going to have both of those out.
What they accomplished with Fallout, they could it could have the same effect with Gears.
But it could be even bigger.
It could.
Bigger.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then don't forget, if it comes out 2026, that's the 20th anniversary of Gears of War.
That's why I think it's coming out that year. Yeah,
man.
So, and
it's
you get the
good.
movie.
So what if the Phoenix collection is real and that's like the same
Next
year or next year maybe?
Or next year, I think late next year, potentially late next year.
Yeah, I kind of gave up on it. I said that if they didn't announce it with whatever they announced here, that it was not real. But we didn't get the Gear 6 announcement still. And that we know still have rumblings that that's still going to be a thing that they do, right? So if that's the case, then maybe the Phoenix collection is real too, you know?
And they said they were working on 2 projects and they put those to the side to work on Gear 6. And what did we get? Gears prequel. That's not Gear 6. So were they just saying that to be like, throw people off? Like, because people were kind of like, oh, we're getting, a Marcus Phoenix collection. Oh, no, they're working on Gear 6. And then we got this prequel. So what is the other game? It could be the Marcus Phoenix collection that we could be getting soon.
Pop too.
So I got a hypothetical fun speculation thing. Okay. Right. I don't know what the rumors specifically said about People Can Fly's project that they have, but
I'm right in board.
We know that like Xbox would have loved to have something Fallout to coincide with the Fallout show, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that was kind of something that they're like, well, fuck, like maybe we screwed up. We didn't anticipate it was gonna be this crazy. I mean, they did have Fallout 76 content. They have, the Fallout 4 upgrade.
Did you watch Matty Play's interview with Todd Howard?
Yes.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, because in that interview, Todd Howard specifically said, like, for those smaller experiences for Fallout, they want to put those in 76 because they can get those out quicker.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So for there's People Can Fly has a history with Gears, right?
Mm-hmm.
They made Gears of War Judgment, right?
Yep.
So they recently rumored that they signed a deal, $50 million game deal or whatever, to work and make a game for Xbox, right? Like they could end up being kind of like this secondary Gears team for Xbox to get more Gears content out, because we know by the time that Gears EA comes out, it'll been how many years? 7 years since Gears 5? Was it 2019? I believe.
2019.
Right.
2019.
So
2017
if it's
was
20,
Gears 4.
if it's 2026, that'll be 7 years between Gears games, right?
Mm-hmm.
We did have the Hive Busters content that was like a year after that the launch, but still, that's a long time without Gears. So what if this is to have some other things? We had Gears Tactics that kind of fell between then. That was even 2020, wasn't it? I believe.
PC,
2019,
2020.
So that's
2020 PC, 2021 Xbox.
That's 6 years between Gears projects, even if we get a 2026 release, right? And like So like, I'm just thinking hypothetically, I don't know, like it's just a guess, but hypothetically, maybe that makes sense for Xbox to bring in another team, kind of like what Certain Affinity is, kind of to Halo, you know, where they're working on something. Maybe People Can Fly can be that for Gears, especially because they have a history there. I don't know.
Or maybe Coalition laid the groundwork for the Phoenix Collection, right? Maybe they laid the groundwork because obviously it's still Unreal to Unreal, and we've heard that it is easier to bump some of the older Unreal engines into Unreal Engine 5. Maybe they worked to perfect that and to get it down to a point, and then they obviously wanted to move on and start full production on E-Day, and maybe they're going to pass the rest of it off with them obviously overseeing the work to somebody like People Can Fly to finish it off and have it ready for late next year, holiday release in the lead up to potentially 2026 launch. Like, I think that would be the perfect thing. I know a lot of people wanted it this year, you know, like Steel and stuff just wanted to get it out there, but obviously maybe they weren't ready to do it. But I still think it's a reality. And I still think it makes the most sense because because we got to probably guess that E-Day is going to launch on PC day one, right? You got to get the rest of it.
100%.
You got to get the full original trilogy into PC. I mean, you do. So you got to do the work anyway. So it just makes sense.
That'll be when it happens.
Yeah.
So remember there was there was multiple projects originally at the beginning of this generation. Coalition announced they had multiple projects in the works. Then it later came out that they had said that they moved on from the other projects to just focus on the next Gears game. Now we officially got the Gears E-Day game, and People Can Fly have a deal to make a game with Xbox, supposedly. So, but yeah, maybe they picking up the pieces of what had been started. Essentially.
I'm wondering the groundwork more so that they had Gear 6 in production to continue the JD storyline, and like they already had like a year of like writing and stuff for that game, and then they saw the reception. They're like, I don't know if we can do this. So then they had to kind of start from scratch. Like they didn't have that like year or two build up cycle from where they already had Gears 5 out. They had to pretty much start over.
And plus they're moving to Unreal 5 and all that stuff too. And it's a whole thing, you know. But yeah, this was a fun show, guys. We have a shorter show tonight. It was a crazy surprise having Jasper back. I know Psycho's got to bounce because he's got to.
And Psycho.
Yeah, Psycho's. You've been gone for like a fucking month.
Yeah.
Man.
He's been gone forever. I haven't heard Psycho's voice in forever, man. And you brought me laughter again. I love you, bro. I love you.
The platoon money.
You're my brother.
and he works at GameSpot or Toys R Us or wherever he works.
Funko.
Yeah, bro. Thanks for being back here.
Works at fucking Blockbuster.
Are you going to be able to borrow the laptop every Friday?
Not every Friday. We'll see.
That's cool, man.
Grass doesn't grow fast enough. You can't cut it.
But yeah, thanks for being here, dude. Going out of your way to make it happen. But hey,
of course,
you want to tell everybody which retail store you actually work at and where they can find you?
Folks, thanks for coming out. It was a pleasure to be talking again on this amazing show with my amazing friends. It's just one of those things. I wish I was there for the showcases because, man, crazy. Nintendo saved E3. Get the fuck out of here. And
it's revolutionary. You can play as Zelda now.
Woohoo! Yeah. I don't know, but at the end of the day, you guys make it great, and and I miss y'all. I will try my hardest to get back on to doing some podcasts with y'all, and find me on social media. I'm still fucking on there, sharing some crazy bullshit all of a sudden.
Yeah, right on, man.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for being here, Psycho. Appreciate you, man. Man, I forgot to say what my game was. It stood out to me. I just realized it was Fable. Still, I said this before already, but Fable. Like what you're talking about, Pong. That like feeling of like a little bit of emotion there and stuff like that. I had it first with Fable. Like Fable for me was like that game, like one of those franchises I just have deeply missed. I was really fucking disappointed when Lionhead shut down. Like I was disappointed when they first to work on Kinect stuff first, And then I was even more disappointed when Fable Legends never ended up coming out. And then when they got shut down, I'm like, what the fuck happened? You know, like they had this amazing team that was doing amazing Fable games, and that was something unique and special and like so cool and amazing. I fucking loved it. I love that game. But to see Playground's vision actually, like the reality of it, like 3-Bit had those feelings because of different reasons, maybe, you know what I mean? Because obviously he's kind of worked on those environments that we saw, right? But like, man, I was seeing the environments and I'm like, fuck, it's like that's like a dream game for me, what they're creating there. And I had those, but also Gears and stuff, obviously, as well. But I think Fable is still the one sticking in my mind the most.
Yeah.
Good call.
Fable did look good. Fable did look good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, really fucking good.
And they're chicken kickers. I can't wait to see if they got.
There's been more footage of
STDs.
Avowed out there too, people.
Yeah.
There's been more footage of Avowed popping up here and there. They're going to be at Gamescom too. I'm telling you, you guys, anybody still
People
on
are
the
sleeping
fence,
on it.
keep go check out
Game.
some of the latest stuff, the little clips that are coming out. I'm hoping we're going to get a bigger showing even at Gamescom again. They've done some massive work, even from the first, and I had zero problem with the first one. I'm just talking to the people that are still on the fence with Avowed. Go check out some of that combat and some of the magic that they're now doing in that game and some of the environments that they've got going on. If they bring all the character development, all the consequence choices, all that good stuff that Obsidian we already know are masters at, it's going to be a special game, folks. This is going to be a special game.
And you
It's
can play
looking
in
good.
third person.
And you can play in third person. Yeah, for anybody that now Steel's back interested. So now that you can play in third person, now it's on his radar again. So yeah, it's just been amazing to watch that team put that together. So I can't wait to see more Gamescom. Sorry.
It'd be interesting if like they could end up doing what Bethesda does with like the creation type thing for allowing mods and stuff for their games, because it's similar kind of. It's not as open as
it's not as open. Yeah.
But you know, it's similar concepts sometimes with some of the games, right? Jasper, dude, what a fucking surprise, man! I hopped in here and you know, Jasper's like, I was like, who the fuck is that spaceship guy? You know, I was like, what's going on? It's like, is that Pong? It's like, oh my god, no, it's Jasper, Specialist Jasper.
Yeah.
Amazing. Thanks for being here, man.
Specialist Private Class 3 Jasper.
Yep. E3, sir. It's going pretty well. You can find me at Lord Jasper on Twitter. I don't really post anything there anymore, but I'll see it. If you just message me, I'll see it. That's where I'm at. Just playing games, and then I'm, having fun in the military.
Yeah.
Being a janitor.
Did you
Nice.
did you bring up any of your YouTube videos on how to create starships in Starfield? Did you show people?
No, because the second Starfield is mentioned around here, everyone's like, "Oh, the game's fucking garbage."
Oh my god, that's funny. It's a space game too. You're in Space Force. You would think they'd find it interesting.
No.
I wonder if they
On
actually
Xbox.
played it.
Probably not.
No, not a
Obviously
chance.
Not a chance in hell. So
They
disappointing.
probably
Jasper.
watch Sacred Symbols or
What?
They probably don't watch any of that shit.
Jasper's like, see you guys, I made the Starship Enterprise. This has got 10,000 views.
No.
I'm
So
cool.
the funny thing is, like, I expected there to be like a bunch of Star Wars and Star
And
Trek
there's not.
nerds.
And there's not.
No, it's all fucking One Piece anime nerds. Everyone fucking
Yep.
loves One Piece anime, and I'm like,
It's so good though.
what the
It is.
fuck weeb force did I
You're like, is Space Force the only fucking branch that would take your dumb asses? What the fuck? This is supposed to be for us sci-fi nerds. What the hell are you doing in
like
here?
One Piece?
Yeah,
Yeah.
go fucking the Navy. If you like One Piece, you should be in the Navy.
Yeah, you
Jeez.
would think.
He ate the gum gum fruit and he got this power.
Yeah, like you would think maybe Cowboy Bebop, right? Or something like that.
No,
I
that'd be
think
cool.
they're like
I do
really
like what we
they like
thought.
a lot of the animes, but like they always kept talking about fucking One Piece. I was like, I've
You're
never
like, who
seen
the
this
fucking
shit. I
nerds
was
now?
like,
You're like, who's the fucking nerds
Well, but
now?
what's
bitches?
what's the average age? Is it like younger 20s though? Like,
yeah, I would say probably out of like the 120 something of us, like half of us were over 25, half of us were under 25.
Okay.
Probably like 23. It was like the youngest under, or like average under.
Okay. Right on. Fair enough. Man. All right, dude. Good. I don't know when the next time we'll get to talk to you again. So it was awesome to have you
Yes,
here,
sir.
though. And good luck on your space ventures.
Yep.
To infinity and beyond, my friend. Fuzzy Belvedere. Where can everybody find your rambles and rants?
It was awesome being on here with you guys after missing a couple of nights and stuff, and awesome having Jasper back. Thanks for joining us tonight. Definitely be safe out there. Don't let the PlayStation crowd get you down. Just show them some real games instead of having them play the.
Oh no, it's all right. I'm just playing on my 4090 over here. They can play on their pleb machine.
But thanks to everybody in the chat for joining us. Greatly appreciate it. For those that want to hear my rambles and rants on anything gaming related, just follow me on the app formerly known as Twitter at fuzzy_Belvedere. You can also find me on Pixelated Echoes on Sunday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with 3-Bit. And then you will also be able to find me on Xbox Lunch Break Special on Double Barrel Gaming, 12 noon on Monday. And then FSP Monday night, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on this channel. Hope to see you guys there. Thanks again.
Thanks, Fuzz. Awesome hanging out with you again as well. And Pong Soul. What about you, my friend? You gonna start, like Yobi said, start calling your ship in from everywhere on Starfield?
No, like I said, one day I'll start a mod run. I'm like, I don't know what it is. I like to play. I still have not gotten into the mod scene that way. Like, again, I know eventually I will, but I just like to play the games the way the developers.
Kate has. She has like 20 mods
sure
installed,
she does.
and
I
like
believe
it like
sure.
wasn't loading the game. I had to go and like
Oh my
delete
God.
her cache and shit, like from the Xbox, so she could fix
Of
it.
course she does.
Because
one day.
broken. Yeah.
And I'm waiting for the full. I know we're getting more and more and more Star Wars mods, but I'm waiting for that full. We got up to 100 gigs now on the consoles, right, for mods. So they ramped up big. I'm waiting for that full Star Wars conversion, right, and then I'll be definitely all about it. But that does sound cool. I've seen a ton of the mods and they look amazing. I will hop into those at some point. But shout out to Legendary Yobi. Shout out to Nate Dogg too for mentioning Indiana Jones as well.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. I mean, again, I've talked about that multiple times. I didn't mention it in my list, but yeah, Indiana Jones is one of my most anticipated. I'm the old
They hated
indie
that
fan.
game too.
Of course they did.
Like, why does these people look like fucking clay cartoony characters or whatever? Like, what the fuck are you watching?
Choo, motherfuckers. God, I love that we have that now. So yeah, no, shout out to Nate for that one too, because yeah, Indiana Jones looked amazing, and it's God.
Were you in the
closet?
closet, Psycho? Or was that your?
Oh, did he appear?
Yeah. Now you.
God. Oh yeah, where's he?
He's muted.
Oh, we can't hear you. He's
mute.
muted.
It's like the laptop can't handle a microphone and a camera at the same time.
No. No, I'm in the crafting room where we got all the vinyl.
The crafting room where we roll joints.
Yeah.
Where we make latex dolls and shit.
Yeah.
All that's vinyl hanging on the door.
It says dildo making station there.
Idle dog.
Yeah.
Yes.
Dogs.
My neighbor, she loves all the
No, he's not your neighbor, Matt.
It's
He's
like, look at all these colorful dildos we have back here hanging on this wall. Like, this is where we make them here.
Likes the big black one.
It's crazy. We got the whole family back together. It's freaking amazing.
There's a purple one, there's a black one, there's a white one, there's. Anyway,
there's a pink one. There's cheetah print.
Oh,
we got the glow in the dark.
the space theme one. I'm gonna send that one to Jasper.
Oh Jesus!
Yeah.
It's already shaped like a
Stars.
rocket ship. You just put
stars everywhere.
To infinity and beyond.
Oh my! Oh yes, do that. To my asshole and beyond. Oh wow. Oh shit! Oh, I should mention too.
This was still Punk's outro. I forgot.
Yeah, this is still my outro. Hey, I didn't get to do that because we got interrupted by crafting hour with Psycho, which gets a little weird. Should mention too. Chat. You got any Dr. Disrespect fans in the chat?
What happened?
You may want to see what's blowing up right now.
Ooh, is something. Okay.
Oh, bad. Oh, from his Twitch problems.
Like it finally came out. What happened?
Yeah. Former Twitch guy came out, just threw it out on the table tonight. Cody Connors said he got banned because he got caught sexting a minor in the then existing Twitch Whispers product. He was trying to meet up with her at TwitchCon. The powers that be could read in plain text. Case closed, gang. And then Jake Lucky picked up on it and was tweeting about it. And Dr. Disrespect actually came in and responded to, and he said, Jake, seriously, I get it. It's a hot topic, but this has been settled. No wrongdoing was acknowledged, and they paid out the whole contract. Curious use of words.
Yeah,
bro.
Anyway,
I mean, he can't say everything, but anyways.
No, did he?
Yeah. So, anyways, yeah, I know there's a lot of Dr. Disrespect fans out there, man. It's shitty, man. You just don't know people. You'll never know the hearts of men. It's crazy. But anyways, love you all. This was a great episode to have Jasper back, to have Psycho actually be able to show up with us again. My God. And of course, Fuzzy and Mav. It's been the Mav, Fuzzy, and Pong cast here for a lot of Friday nights. Yeah. So to have the family back together, it's feeling great. We were just missing Bob. Where's Bob? Bob, I saw you streaming. Could have been here with the fam. Miss you, brother. But no, what a great Friday night. Love you all. And it was great conversations and chat. Amazing. All love and respect for coming out and giving us your most precious commodity, which is your time, because none of us have unlimited time. So thank you all for being here as always and supporting us. You guys know the drill. Pong Soul on X, Pong Soul on the Xbox, Pong Soul on GOG, Pong Soul on Steam, Pong Soul on Epic. Tomorrow morning, Steel and I are back. Steel has confirmed it. He is naked right now playing some Erd Tree. He's going to have a lot to say tomorrow. We're going to talk a lot of Gears because we didn't get to talk Gears last weekend. So, of course, him and I are going to deep dive Gears. You know he's going to have a big love fest with Erd Tree. Shout out to all the Erd Tree fans, Elden Ring fans who got their DLC, big DLC. It's not getting fucking Game of the Year. None of you even suggested, okay? But anyways, I'm glad you all got your DLC. It's looking amazing. I am so jealous of all you Souls fans who love this shit. It just looks like an awesome experience. But we're going to talk a lot about that. We're going to get into a lot of topics, of course, showcase stuff that we didn't get to last weekend. We'll cover this stuff this weekend as well. I know Steel is fired up. I am fired up because we hate missing Saturday mornings with you guys. So Living Split Screen tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. Eastern, 9 o'clock Central Time. Be there live, raw, and uncut. I will make sure Steel has some clothes on when we go live. So be there for that. And then, of course, we are still on break for the Shop podcast. So go find some other shows to watch and listen to while you're playing games on a Saturday night. But the Shop podcast will be back at some point, and PTK Blam will make that announcement. We'll be sure to tell you all when we do come back. Otherwise, next week it starts all over again. Tuesdays is Xbox Factor. Double Barrel Games is the channel. Mr. Boomstick's the man. 12 p.m. Eastern, 11 o'clock Central Time for all good things green. Be there for that. And then, of course, Thursday, me and Mav right back here for PM in the PM. Pong and Mav in the PM, 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 o'clock Central Time on the Fun Speculation Network. Listen, y'all, it's the golden age of gaming. It is, man. Get out there. Enjoy it. Please have a great rest of your weekend and play what you love. Love what you play. Choo-choo, motherfuckers. Mav, go ahead. Take it away, brother.
One quick question. Fuzzy, is Pixelated Echo supposed to be back this Sunday? Because I saw people asking in the chat earlier.
Yeah, we'll make an announcement.
3-bit's like crazy busy. Yeah,
it's 3-bit. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll make an announcement Saturday if it's truly back Sunday. But yeah, we'll just keep an eye on Twitter. That's probably the best bet for right now.
Bruh.
Choo choo.
All right.
Choo
Anyway,
choo.
everybody, we'll be back next week for a regular slate of shows. Hopefully, we have a full week of shows and stuff. Maybe even a Mavcast or something if I get worked up enough. I almost did last night, but it was like the end of PM in the PM, so like it wouldn't have worked out. Anyway, I hope you all have a good one. We'll see you back here another time. Peace out, everybody. Bye.
Bye.
Hey, everybody.
Hey,